I was a senior in college and found out I was pregnant like 2 days after I'd moved to college for to start my senior year. I was probably about 4 months along, and I decided that I didn't think I could parent the way I wanted to parent. It wasn't necessarily that I couldn't be a parent. I know I could be a mom. I just couldn't provide for my daughter like I would want to. So I contacted the Cradle, and the first initial call was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Because you can talk about, yes, I'm going to do this, yes, I'm going to think about it, but as soon as you make that call, you're like officializing what you're saying. Like you're like taking the first step towards it. Kind of wanted to call and see what this adoption thing was all about, because adoption isn't something that's really well talked about. Like we talked about, it's like something from the 40s. You're supposed to be shipped off and then you come back and you just don't have a baby, and that's kind of the perception that I thought adoption was. I think at that point I was just like, send me some information, I'll read it when I'm comfortable reading it, because at that time I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want to talk about it. I went with the Cradle because they are so reputable with open adoptions, and that was something, if I was going to do adoption, it had to be open. It kind of got me out of that adoption is a 40s thing, where you send your child off and you're done with it. So, and I think that's a lot of why I looked into adoption, because that was like, okay, I can start making sure she's going to be taken care of before she actually gets here. We email probably at least once a week. We'll touch base. It might go every other week, but we usually touch base. There's not so many phone calls just because I work PMs, they work days, and I'm getting my master's and they have lives, So phone calls are really hard, and emails are nice for us because we can answer them when we get a chance. And I try to go in about every 3 months, and that's a good schedule for me. I think it's a good schedule for Lizzie because I'm there, but I'm not constantly there. She is great with life. She's happy. She's well taken care of. There's pictures of Keith and I in her bedroom, so she knows who we are. She gets ecstatic when she finds out I'm coming. The last time I went, Holly emailed me and said, Lizzie would like to know if you could stay for 10 days this time. First time that your daughter calls you and says, do you know that I grew in your belly? And then I came home with my mommy. I'm like, she gets it. But it was reassuring to me that she got my role in her life. I never regret my decision because it's a selfless decision. I didn't make the decision for me. If I made the decision for me, I'd regret it to this day, and it's been 4 years. I made the decision for my daughter.